Hello, good morning, and happy Friday. Welcome to a lot of new member. Costantino, welcome as a leadership peer. And I see some other folks that just joined. Thank you so much for your patience. While I adjust myself a little bit here, I'm trying something different here by taking the effort of learning how to make the stream a little bit more fun for you guys. But for those who are new to my channel, my name is Holly Lee. I am a career coach. My goal is to live stream twice a week, and which is every Tuesday afternoon, and that's free. I answer all of your interview questions. Doesn't matter what company it is for. Personally, I work for Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and other employer, including startup, in the last two plus 2 plus years. What am I saying? Lord, where's my coffee? In the last 20 plus years. And I'm simply sharing everything that I have taught my team, my leaders with those organizations. But my passion is to help you land into tech companies. In this channel, there's a lot of folks who's interviewing for Amazon, which makes sense because they have the most open position. But don't be shy. If you're ever curious, for example, please do ask me, make the questions hard for me, which is why on the Friday stream, the 9:30 a.m. that you're watching right now, if you're interested, click the join button. It's member mode only. What that means is that you can watch, but you can't comment unless you are a member. This really helps me as I'm reviewing your story or your LinkedIn profile or your resume, whatever that I'm reviewing for you for paid YouTube member. Any tier, it's keeping a lot of the internet troll or spammer away so I'm not being interrupted. And let's be honest, I don't want anyone all over my members' comment. Okay, that's why I'm doing that. It truly, truly makes me motivated to continue pumping not just live stream, but one-off video for you. If you hit that smash like button right there, if you haven't already, subscribe, be a member, because when you are a member, you will get notified, not by me, by YouTube. I promise you, I will not spam you. I don't even know what your email address is. Yeah, actually, I could if I want to find out. But in full disclosure, I just wanted to make sure that if you're really struggling, you're going through a crossroad in your career right now, and you truly do need the guidance, this is really the channel to be, because I don't small talk to tell you about the mumbo jumbo, what is Amazon Leadership Principle. I'm literally giving you what are the questions, my personal example that I have written from experience so that you can basically look at it and create your own. Don't take my answer, but create your own. That also reminds me, I have a story to share with you guys. How many of you guys are ready for me to give you an example of Invent and Simplified? How I was able to solve a problem with absolutely zero data. Also, ability to think big and dive deep while stressing myself out. This all happened 2 weeks ago when I was going through a server migration for my business site, and I had no clue what I was doing. I used to be a front end web developer, but I didn't touch any of the server stuff. This is about 25 years ago when, I'm not going to say anymore, but then you can figure out exactly how old I am. But if you're interested to hear a personal story, and I'm literally just making this up ad hoc because I have the experience, and this is where I wanted to train you professional. I wanted my style of coaching is to not let you memorize every single thing that you've done. Don't waste your time memorizing. Be short, be quick, be concise. I love the STAR method. The STAR method is, I only have heard company using the STAR foundation at Amazon. That's why I'm so passionate about it. It's not really passionate about Amazon, but about the STAR method and the way how Amazon take advantage of it in helping them carve out the right top talent for the organization, which is super smart, by the way, okay? If you are interested to hear a personal example from me, please say yes, example, please. Okay, say yes, and I will give you my example. And if you guys don't say yes, I'm just not going to give you an example, okay? I'm kidding. Let's see. Let me make this a little bit bigger. The time, it's not often, but the one time I somewhat was on vacation a few weeks ago, I really miss having my dual monitor of live streaming at the airport on my laptop, because there's no way that I could do everything I need to in reviewing your story and answering your question and trying to catch everything in a 13-inch MacBook. How are you, Costantino? Hello, welcome. And if you guys are new, please do let me know where you are tuning in from, okay? And Purple Sparkle, thank you so much for being here and your support as always. Anna, say hello to our community manager. Anna is actually Anna and Anlu. Ironically, both of their name are Ann. Hey, listen, it's not that I'm biased or anything. I'm not picking for a specific name to be a community manager. Just so happened that they're both Ann and Anna. Constantinios, where are you from? Some of you asked me, Holly, what is the difference between um, um, a career tier, a leadership tier, or what's the difference between your membership? Maybe I should walk that through really quickly. Just to join my member, just regular tier, basically you're buying me a coffee for $3.99 once a month. That's really it. You're supporting my work. You have access to the live stream and everything, and I will, of course, answer all of your questions. But generally, I like to go by the order of from leadership, career, and then put it this way. At the end of the day, I will answer all of your questions. Just have a little patience for me, even though I'm answering someone else's questions. Guess what, guys? You guys are all stuck in the same situation, okay? And because of that, sorry, I didn't realize the subscribe button is still there. Because of that, you can learn from each other just by the type of questions that I am answering. Okay, makes sense? Yes, yes, yes. Great. I will give you an example shortly, okay? Let me take a moment and say hi to my community. Twana, did the Resume Accelerator link work for you? Please let me know if you have questions. And that is why I want to talk about why it was broken for a hot second. I think it was broken for about 10 hours where I had a panic attack, and I'll talk about that in my story. You always want to change any kind of mistakes or failure into a story. Okay, as long as your story has an impact, a business, in this case, it's my own business impact, but some kind of impact. Okay. Sutter Space Police. I think you want me to call you June, if I'm correct. Sutter Space Police. Alrighty. Good morning to you. Violetta. Hello, hello. Always great to see you back. Sahab. Hey, Sahab. Thanks for all the guidelines. I passed the first and second interview, and I'm waiting for a 6-hour virtual meeting. Nice. By the way, when you guys are waiting for your final loop, this is just my preference because Amazon will give you options for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on site. Let me tell you a secret, okay? Hang on. You want me to tell you a secret about choosing the date of your interview? If you're in my cohort already, this is not new to you, but shh. I would absolutely choose the interview date to be Thursday or Friday. If you must, do Wednesday. Whatever you guys do, do not interview on on Monday and Tuesday. Let me tell you why. If you put yourself, you don't have to be a hiring manager in the interviewer's perspective, right? Just say you and I. I hate interviewing on Monday because it's Monday. I have my agenda. I have priorities. I have so much stuff I needed to do. And then I got to interview you and 5 other people and have to write feedback right away. And I have to like attend a debrief in the next 2 days or so. It's just a lot of work. You know, you want the interviewer to be excited and motivated. Tuesday, that's where the fire hose are starting more, right? Things are broken, things are falling, escalation, and all of that stuff. And they got to interview you. So why I say that you always want to interview any kind of interview, recruiter call, hiring manager, whatever that may be, even on a date. Okay, if you're going to have a coffee date with somebody, make sure you do it at the end of the week. People are just in a really good mood. If you agree with me, say amen Friday in the bottom in the chat right now. That is a fact because in my VIP coaching cohort, the people, I am not shedding you guys, okay? The ones who landed a job offer, they're all Fridays. I swear to God, they're all Friday. And at first the recruiter's like, Holly, I'm not Holly, not me personally. You know, can you choose Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? And that's where you turn around and say, you know what, I really want to do well with this interview because Amazon is a company that I really would love to work for. I wanted to prep for this. And I'm looking at my calendar right now. Is there any way at all that we can move this to Thursday or Friday in the next, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What does that mean? Okay. Because a lot of you guys are driving me crazy people. But Holly, the recruiter didn't give me the option. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. You had to ask for it, people. Ask for it. What are they going to tell you? No. By the way, it's rare for them to tell you no. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. It's Amazon. They're always going to be hiring, right? If they say no, it's really for the recruiter. They could work with you if they want to. Okay. I was a recruiter for 15 years before I become a recruiting leader. And then I also trained a lot of there's about, at the time that was at Amazon was about 3 years ago. At the time, there were like about 300 something. It's called Making Great Hiring Decision Facilitator or Trainer. I was one of those 300 people. I'm talking about the entire company, not just Seattle. Okay. As you can see, there's not that many trainer. Those are called interviewing expert at Amazon, where every single person who joined Amazon immediately the first week, the first month, you should take my class so that you know what the bar is at Amazon and you know the step to be a shadower, an interviewer, and a bar racer, right? You have to take my class. That's what I'm telling you guys this right now. If someone tells you no or don't give you an option, all you got to do is tell them what you want. If you don't tell people what you want, you're not going to get what you want, okay? Abby, going by Ali and Abbas. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. I love, love, love. I don't think you guys understand what it means for me when literally my my YouTube pay member also, it's a big secret, right? It's my resume accelerator or my branding community. Is a private group that I support them when they purchase any of my accelerator courses. They're also my VIP cohort for those who already have landed an interview, job interviewed, and also the interview accelerator. Basically, every single product and services I have on there, and they're all here, and you guys are supporting me. That means I'm doing something right, right? Knock on wood. All right. That's why I love the member only mode, because it motivates me to continue being better and better and better every single week for you guys. And you see the fanciness, a little change here and there is because I don't want you to get bored. Okay. The live stream usually lasts about 2 hours or so, and I wanted to answer all of your questions, but I don't want to get right into the chase because my intent is to build a community where you learn more about my style and I get to learn more about you. And when you have a question for me, please put the giant Q in front of your question and be specific. Okay. I need to make a video that's called Be Specific. Seriously, I think I need to do that. I'm sorry. Let me give you an example. When you're asking any kind of like interview tip or questions and whatnot, one, let me know what position you're interviewing for. If you have information, what team you're interviewing for, because it makes a big difference. I'm beginning to get a lot of salary question. That's great. Where you from? Where you from, brothers and sisters? Okay. If you don't tell me where you're from, I can't just give you salary information. It's not relevant. I'm Seattle based. Seattle, Silicon Valley, New York, Austin, Texas, Italy, they're complete different markets. So you need to know where I can direct you. Honestly, the numbers are already on top of my head because I've been in recruiting for 21 years. And right now I'm still in recruiting, but I call it leadership and career coaching. And the job that I'm doing is a little bit different, right? I'm more intimate right now. I'm not being in meetings I don't care about, and all I'm doing is just coaching. So in a way, I'm still recruiting, but as a leadership coach. Sabat, can you give me some advice for this interview? What is the main goal of this? Sahab, I would love to. My friend, let me know what position you're interviewing for, what location you're interviewing for, if you can. Okay. Um, that way I could answer the question and tell you a little bit more. If you know your level, okay, position, location, and level. If you don't have the level, that's fine. But at the bare minimum, position and what geography it is. Okay. Okay. All right. Kaya, hello. Welcome as a new supporter. Thank you for buying me coffee every month. Okay, I'm going to start by giving you guys an example. Here's how it's going to work. I will give you an example of something that had happened literally 2 days ago. It's a star story that I'm literally making it up on the fly. Okay. Can I please get a star or a thumbs up emoji if you're watching right now? Motivate me, please, people. Give me an emoji thumbs up and let's get this party going. And when I'm done doing that, please do fire up and give me all of your questions. I'll start from top bottom of the leadership tier and I will answer all of your questions. Cheers. Tawana, I see your questions. I will get to you in a little bit. Alrighty. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I did mention making this up on the fly, okay? Okay, let me just send for a second here. This is why I love member mode only. I can be who I am. I'm not scripting. I don't use teleprompter. I'm probably the only YouTuber that doesn't look at teleprompter. Maybe I should. My specialty is making mistakes all day long in all of my videos. Can you see that? All right. Okay, audio check. Everything is good. Okay, let's start. This is an example of invent and simplify. For example, if your story is good enough, it would hit a lot of the leadership principle, okay? Because a lot of you guys are asking, what leadership principle for, technical questions or this or that. Just listen very, very careful. This is behavioral questions that I'm adding a little bit tech into it. Is tell me about time you're able to solve a problem with no data or limited data. It could also be, can you tell me a time where you have where you were able to think big and figure out the issues without anyone telling you how to resolve a problem. It could be so many different things. I could continue on with 10 different questions, but in the end of the day, guys, it's all the same. All the same. What really matters is the content of your story, okay? All right. I'd like to tell you a time, which is literally 2 days ago, where I am the CEO of my career coaching business. I'm going through a server migration of scaling my business now that I have been as a career coach for several years, and the server was running really slow. Rather than hiring a consultant, which I easily could have done and focused my time in live streaming for you guys or continue coaching or generating business, I chose not to and just put a pause because I believe that a great leader should be able to wear every single role within their organization. If you don't, how do you know who to hire? How do you know what to charge them or what to pay them? For instance, if you don't know the time it takes for you to solve a problem. So what I've done is, because I'm a content creator and because I love Google and YouTube, the first thing I've done without any experience, by the way, I've never touched servers, don't know anything about server, DNS, SSL, setting it up, operating 6 products and services from scratch. I don't know even how to move from A to B. So I Googled it. And what I quickly realized is that I don't learn by reading. This is after days and days of searching between Google and YouTube. I love Google because anything that's on the World Wide Web in any browser or platform, Google is the biggest data analytics. So the first thing I did was, for example, how do you migrate a server from WordPress to ABC website, or how do you remove servers from ABC to the Kajabi platform, which is where I host all of my products and services. I have failed, and my entire website and server shut down for 10 hours, where I receive my members pinging me and messaging me that they don't have access to, for example, my resume accelerator. As a business owner, I panicked because I care more about customer delivery and obsession more than anything else. I stayed up for 24 hours to make sure that the server was back in place. I probably watched about 50 to 80 YouTubers and finally found the one person who can walk me through step by step on going to my Google domain, looking at my DNS, how to ping my DNS, how to write in my my SLA, where to find my IP addresses. I know that it sounds silly for a technical expert. For someone who's really not techie, I was able to troubleshoot all of that and bring my server and the entire business up and running in less than 10 hours. And in return, my customers, of course, I let them know that everything is back up and running to continue generating revenue for my business, like that. And I completely just made that up. Okay, if I have to do it again, I can do it in 30 seconds. That was about a minute long. It sounds really long, right? That's why when you're giving a story, if it's more than a minute long, people are going to get bored out of their mind. Okay, so let me do it one more time. The same story. Okay, when you listen to my story, one thing is solving a problem with no data, because I talked about I'm not tech. I've never even touched servers before. Okay, from someone who hasn't even done any of that and try to figure it out. And also, I talked about bringing my website and my business up and running, which means there's some coding involved as well. The last time I've done web design was 25 years ago. Yes, people, I'm old, okay? I don't even remember how to use JavaScript or any of that. those are back in the days. It's kind of embarrassing to bring that up right now. So I basically have to relearn and taught myself everything. So if I have to if I have to create my story, knowing that I haven't interviewed where I needed to have some type of tech experience, you're going to give me the job. Even though I'm not that techie, it's the way that I'm telling my story to let you know that you don't have to hold my hands. Okay. I know how to look for, I know where to go to look for an answer and then try solving it for myself without asking for help. Because at the very beginning of my situation is, I told you that I need a server migration. I don't want to hire someone because I'm a true believer that you do. Leaders, I don't know about you guys, but of all the managers I've had in my entire career, I'm talking about 20 plus years, there's only been one manager. Hey, Julie, if you're watching right now, she's a leader at Amazon still. I work for her at Google. I also work for her at Amazon. I love this woman. This woman literally grew up in recruiting, leadership, like boom, 10-yard startup, hardware startup. She taught me a lot of things. The one person, how many of you can raise your hand of good leadership, right? It's like the one person, my hand is up. So this is what I mean by it's really important for you to be able to do all the different roles. I wanted to highlight that, but I don't want it to exaggerate because in your probing question, you're going to ask me and dig for more learnings, right? I also wanted to tell you that, basically the how part is really important that a lot of people miss. The how part is I did go to Google and did a search. Why Google and not Firefox or anywhere else or call my friends? I don't want to do that because I want to know how to do things. I can't be calling my friends up, which I know a lot of tech people every single time. Even if you put things on the Google platform, Google will tell you anything. But as you know, there's good creators and not so good creator, all right? A lot of people create just to create, but they don't really tell you how to get there. So it took me a while. It took me hours, more hours finding how to do it than to actually doing it. But once I started implementing the steps, I was able to solve the problem because I have learned from this experience that when it comes to any kind of migration, website, software, hardware systems level, it's got to shut down for like a hot second before it comes back up again. And even yesterday, I haven't slept for a while because I was panicking, even though my server is back and running yesterday. But what if it shuts down again? Because literally all of my businesses are hosting in that one server. Okay. So that is my story. Let me know what you think about that. This is just on the fly, by the way. Even if you are if you're providing answer to the interviewer ad hoc, right? Just ad hoc, what I just did. If it makes sense, if the problem you're trying to solve is clear, which is very clear. It was a server migration that I had no clue what on earth I was doing, and your how. It was very clear. I did a lot of research. I dived deep in a lot of the different ways to solve it. I also mentioned where I have failed and how I was able to bring it back up and what was the end result. Did you solve the problem? Just like coding, right? You could make mistakes, but did you test your code? If you test your code, you will know in the QA life cycle whether it's working or it's not working, right? Did you ping the host to make sure it's up and running? These are for all the tech folks, okay? For PM, for TPM, for engineering leaders, I get a lot of those in this channel. They're all the same, okay? The example that I just gave you and the example that I will be reviewing for you guys should be very, very similar. If you're interested in what I just tell you and you wanted to see a copy of that, just let me know. I'm more than happy to recycle this. By the way, the Friday stream is for member only replay. The view that you're seeing is different from the public view. Even in my community tab, these things that I put on there are very, very different. Okay. That's why. Okay. So I will refurbish this and make it very short, usually no more than 10 to 12-minute video. And I will make my stories in a PDF doc. So you could look at it at a grain of salt and create your own stories. Okay. Alrighty. Saba, when you are ready and tell me what role this is, I can give you some tip on how to manage the interview with leadership principle and technical question. Okay? Thank you for the thumbs up. Thumbs up. I can't talk. Lord, help a girl. Ali, how are you? Constantinos, I'm Greek. Awesome. Let me see if I can make this. Okay, I can't make this any bigger. Kia, hello, Kia. Welcome to the community. Abby says, made a mistake or biggest failure Is it the same? That's a great question. It could be the same, right? I know a lot of the time when interviewer asks questions that sound so similar, I'm going to blame this on the hiring manager. Yes, hiring manager. I know that a lot of you guys are hiring manager. The whole point of a hiring manager for any company and not just Amazon is to make sure that when they create questions to ask an interviewer, they need to set them up where the candidates is also having a good time, where they don't feel like, okay, four people are asking me the same question. I'm running out of story. That is the hiring manager's fault. A good recruiter, however, even the bar racer should be able to glance to, because the job of the bar racer is to make sure that there's competency and the leadership principle is aligned to that. Okay. What the responsibility is of the hiring manager is to make sure that they write a what is called pre-brief email to everyone in the loop addressing, for example, Abby, you are going to interview Anna in Dive Deep and Think Big, so on and so forth. And Adia, you are going to be interviewing Anna on customer obsession and insist on higher standard. You see where I'm going? So that's how the debrief message is. And also, by the way, this is what I look for in a senior TPM. And the manager will basically carve it out. Okay. So a good hiring manager should be very well prepared and know the type of questions that will be asked in advance for the candidate so that they can make an offer quickly and able to identify the right person for the job and not just pick any leadership principle you want. Okay. As we know, we're human. Not everyone does the right thing, and take a moment to really think about the candidate experience as well. Okay. So it is very, very similar. Tell me a time you make a mistake, or what is the biggest mistake that you made, or walk me through a career failure. A lot of you, when I get this, but I don't have a career failure. Think about a time that you made a mistake. Why did you consider that as a failure? Funny that you asked, Abby. I have a video. It's called, I can't remember if it's called Mistake or Failure. It's in my Amazon Leadership Principle question and answer playlist. Okay. So if you look at that playlist, I talk a little bit about what the employer is looking for and how you should almost say shame your story, frame your story so that it makes sense. Because what the employer is looking for, everyone has to have some type of mistakes. You have to. Nobody is perfect. I have made a lot of mistakes in my career. Even when I left organization, I wish I could have gone back and fixed the time that not that I didn't do well. Some of the conversation that I've had at the time where I was really stressed out and overwhelmed, I wish I could have done better. For example, if you let me just give you guys an example, right? Tell me a time tell me about your biggest career failure. Let's just go there, okay? Biggest career failure, biggest mistakes. They're all the same thing. And I have a lot. The first thing that comes into my mind that I'm still thinking about, because I'm a coach, even though my former team loves me. I don't know if you guys remember. I tell you guys a story a couple live stream ago where I've hired an ex-military who basically chopped woods for a living. And that person was one of my recruiter from no experience, because his story was amazing. Go check out the last two streams if you don't know what I'm talking about. The long story short was I hired him at Facebook, and now he is at a different company growing as a recruiter, and he has no experience whatsoever. The first company he's ever worked for, it's a FAANG company, right? It's aptitude, it's attitude. I'm saying this and giving this as an example. And if you guys are interested for me to bring special guests for people who used to report to me, so you know that I'm not BSing you, and this is all fact. I like to talk about facts and statistic. I'm more than happy to bring them onto the show. And I talk about a lot of these. I hired Pizza Delivery, who is still at Amazon, by the way, who's a PM now, right? Delivering pizza, swing shift to a program manager at Amazon, right? And it's been 6 years now for this person. So I can do that all day long. So don't worry about picking out the perfect story, the perfect this and perfect that. I want you to be you and think about the time where you could have done better. Okay, so here we go. I like to walk you through an example where I felt that it was a career failure in the last 20 plus years. This is a time where I was a recruiting manager at Amazon Alexa organization. I led a team of about 15 to 20 people worldwide. And I was also under a lot of pressure at the time where I had to build development and engineering center across the world very, very quickly because that's how Amazon work. The most challenging part was that my team initiative from hiring 40 people as a team went to 300 within that year. So I was being so focused in hiring my team, looking in internal transfer because you cannot hire a team of brand new recruiters to hire because they need to get ramp up and come up to speed. Where I could have done better, and the mistake here was um, just nurturing and spending more time with the people who have been with me for the last couple of years and chose to come back to me as a manager from consumer to Alexa. I probably should have met with them more on a weekly basis rather than doing it monthly. And there are times I literally just say, you know what, John, I'm really sorry. I'm really busy right now. Can we do this? Can I send you an invite when the fire hose is gone, when the fire is off, right? Um, I wish I could have done better in spending more time and hearing them out on what challenges they're going through. But that was a time where I think that it was the most stressful in my Amazon career, where I had to move so fast. And sometimes you kind of forget the important thing, which is right in front of you, your own team. So as a manager, I'm even though I did get positive feedback from my team and I was able to help them grow and I've even promote 30% of my staff year over year, but I wish I could have continued building that personal relationship with them and not make it all work related. Um, and therefore, I wouldn't consider myself a great leader. I would just consider myself very obsessed with my customer, so obsessed where I could have done better as a manager. That's it. I'm done. But the end result is, well, the end result is I was able to meet my goal. I hired 300 people for Alexa engine for that year. And I would say, off the record, of every single company I work for in every single team, I have always been able to meet or exceed or double my goal. I think that when I was at Facebook, I finally got better as a manager because I had a moment to think. I had a moment to think and become a good manager. You know the phrase when I said, how many of you have had bad managers and good managers? I'm pretty sure that if I ask my old team that, not everyone is going to say, yes, we love working for Holly. But there are some that says we love working for Holly because those are very A-type. But I tell you guys this though, a good leader is someone that you're able to influence across introvert, extrovert, motivate them in a way and knowing your people so well. It took me a long time to get here. I think that as a career coach, I'm able to do a better job in connecting with people. Okay. When I say connecting with people, there's different level, but I just wish that I could have just, it haunts me still because I'm so obsessed. And sometimes I don't think that my old team realized that. I mean, they say they still love me, but of course, people just sometimes just say things to be nice. But you know what I mean? So think about a time where you could have done better and how would you be better? Okay? Abby, let me know if I've answered your question. Ah, allergy. My son and I are going through this like seriously allergy because Seattle went from having 80-degree to 60-degree literally overnight. Alrighty. Dun dun dun. All right. Oh la 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 la. Adi- uh, Adia. Do you have any behavioral tips for Amazon technical interviewed? Any specific thing to be aware of or stand out for BIE? When you are a business intelligent engineer, 20% of your question will be technical, 20-30% give or take, but majority of them are all behavioral questions. Okay. I just mentioned my questions and example playlist. Basically, guys, if I were you, I would watch every single playlist that has the word Amazon on it. Even if you're not interviewing for Amazon, guess what? The behavioral question is the same for all the companies. It's the same because there's 100 ways to ask the same question. Okay. As far as technical question, it's all about like BIE. Let me give you an example what I mean by the questions are all the same. Walk me through the most complex problem that you've solved as a business intelligent engineer, right? If you are an engineer, same thing. Walk me through the biggest challenge that you have experienced at ABC company. They're all the same. Okay. So don't think so deep about specific. And I get a lot of, Holly, can you make a role just for program manager? No, because they're all the same. It's going to take me literally 10 years. I have so many requests. And in the world, there are thousands and thousands of different position title. It doesn't make sense. It's not effective. Okay. Let me know if that answers your question. If you look at it, it doesn't matter what position you are. It also doesn't matter what level. I've helped even a lot of new graduate who failed their interview in all the FAANG company. And guess what? I teach them the same thing that I teach of the behavioral questions that I picked out of Amazon, because a lot of the employers also follow the process, and the ability to stay concise with the action plan in place on how they're able to solve the problem, and then it pops in the end, which is what are your notable business impact, and they're able to get a job. Ironically, and I don't take junior level as customers, but back in the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, I just feel really bad for people, especially those who graduated and they can't get a job because nobody is hiring. So there's also a point in my life where I did a lot of pro bono in 2020 because I feel them, right? I feel them, and a lot of them are they're not just 18-year-old college student. We're talking about 30-something-year-old, even 40-year-old who went back to school and did a career transition and didn't realize the pandemic would hit, and they got laid off, and they're head of household, and they have 3 kids. So back in those days, I would do anything I could to put them back to work quickly. And those are also a lot of my loyal YouTube follower, and I can tell that they are supporting me through everything that I have posted on LinkedIn and in other platforms as well. I don't expect that, but yeah, they're still part of the community. Sadr Spasi, you got an offer! Yay! Yes. You got an offer. Oh my, and thank you so much for the super chat. You don't have to, but thank you. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm going to call you Sadr. Sadr, if you have any tips for our community here, the best part of the STAR method, please do share with the community. What has worked for you the most? What had helped you to really condense what you've said and narrow it down to 30, 45 seconds? Guys, you may think that I'm talking out of my mind right now, but it is true. The example that I just gave you guys, it was a minute long. It was really long because I literally made it up as I'm going. Okay. But if I have to write it down and repeat myself and all that, sure, I can do it quickly, even 20 seconds, and get straight to the meat. But because also I haven't really slept because of that server migration. Look at this. I'm like dropping tears because I'm tired. But I'm very excited to live stream for you guys. Okay. So share any tip that you can on how you're able to understand the leadership principle and the STAR method. How long did it take? How long did you prep for it, Sundar? Congratulations, my friends. I'm very happy for you. And thank you for the super chat. Now, Sundar, do me a favor. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if we're not connected. I don't think that is your real name, so that I can invite you to my private Facebook group, which is everyone who are able to land a job offer. I do coach once a month to connect the community. There is close to about 100 people now, and I started the Facebook group about 3 months. That is for those who are my member, and I've helped them in some form or another in one of the services or STAR method, whatever you want to call it. And, selfishly, I don't remember who you are. Beneficially, you're going to have questions for me about onboarding and career growth, so on and so forth. That community is for those who have already landed a job with their company of choice. Okay. And then you will get to see a lot of the folks who are in here that's already in the community. Thank you so much. You just made my Friday. My son wasn't feeling well and I almost canceled the live stream. I'm so glad I didn't. All right. Let's go with, I'm being very anal. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Kia says, "Good morning. I'm joining on 7th of June. Yay! I'm sorry. Yay. Way to go, Kia. The thing is that I think I need to make different sound. I'm trying to look for a sound that says job offer or hell yeah. I don't even know if that's appropriate, but that's a very Hollywood thing to say. But you have to be loud and proud because you guys work so damn hard to land a job, not just Amazon, but to land a job. I don't want to say that we're no more in a pandemic, but even we're not in a pandemic, I feel like the bar is going higher and higher and higher and higher every year. Am I the only one who's feeling that way? Please disagree with me and leave what your thoughts are in the chat below. I feel like the bar just goes up because a lot of the employers have, the longer they are in business, what does that mean? They're also scaling, right? As they're growing and scaling, across the world or expanding their business product line or services. And I just gave you an example of scaling for my own business, of getting a server that's faster, that's willing to host. For example, when businesses are scaling, when the consumer need to look up something online on my webpage or make a payment, I want it to be quick for you and not waste your time, right? So this is what I mean. And the bar is higher, which means the type of question they're asking you is quick. It's different. It will change, right? For example, walk me through an example how you build and scale a product from A to Z. You're absolutely going to be asked those type of questions now. At least that's some of the feedback that I have with my community members. Okay. Mara, how are you, Mara? Twana says, I got access to the resume accelerator regarding the template, so we have to create a free account to create our resume. Is that correct? No, my friend. It's really simple. In the resume accelerator, there's also a free template for you. All you have to do is take my template that I already have, watch step by step, because each tutorial, each section, it's about 1.5 to 2 minutes long. It's really short, quick, specifically to each session. And all you have to do is do the best that you can to create your own, Twana, by using one of the templates that I already made for you. Here's the thing about resume, guys. Template is not important. It's not. It's never been an important factor. What's important is what's in your resume. If your resume and the content is not there, you don't hit the keyword or the buzzword, you'll never get found. Okay? When your resume is there, even when the recruiter is looking at millions of applicants, if you have all the right keywords, you will land in the recruiter's message. What I'm saying, in front of the recruiter's screen, you will. So that's what the resume is for. So template really doesn't matter. If you're using Word, Microsoft Word, or anything like that, you could simply just go to a template and go to resume and pick the one of your choice. The example I have in the resume accelerator is right off of Word. It's very basic. It's don't overcomplicate the template. Don't waste your time on that. Don't make it fancy. You don't need to add different colors. You don't have to go through all of that. No one pay attention. A lot of people say, and I have some of my students that says, Holly, well, I disagree because I work at Apple right now and I don't have a problem getting any job. And you're telling me to remove all the colors on my resume, but I think the color helped me stand out because I paid a resume writer to help me put my resume together, meaning copy and paste, probably from another software. Do not pay people money to do that, guys. Do this. Smack yourself. Please do not pay for anyone to write your resume for you. First of all, they don't write your resume for you. Let's be real here, okay? They don't have your background. They're not going to write your resume for you. What they're going to do is pay $9.99 a month for a software, which, of course, you don't see me sponsor any of the video or sponsor anyone on my channel. Yeah, that is because I don't believe in, forgive me, resume writer. I don't believe in having someone write your resume. I don't believe in having a software to spit out resume because it's not even relevant. They put the keyword, but if you read the resume, is it even making sense for you? Is it? Because a good resume, if I look at your bullets, every single one of those bullets, I would be able to turn it into stories. That's how I teach in my resume accelerator. Okay. And by the way, the resume accelerator is $450, not $2,000. A lot of people, it's like breaking my heart. First of all, they don't even have the experience. Just hear me out for a second, guys. But I know this because a lot of them are my clients and they come to me like, Holly, I pay a couple $100 and I've learned so much from you. And I pay someone $2,000 who did my resume for me and I couldn't even land a job interview. That's an example, right? The second example was, I have color. I said, if you want to have color, choose one color. Don't put 4 colors, 3 color, even it's so many color on your resume and remove your photo on there. And this former client was arguing with me. And it took this person about a month of working with me in my VIP cohort. Yes, it also covers branding, by the way, where I review your stuff to fix it. And I said the reason why you get a lot of company wanting to talk to you is because you were at Apple. But when you're at Apple as a consultant and you're struggling a company and you wanted to get full time, you don't want recruiters within the same company to reach out to you. You want companies like at Google, at Amazon, at Facebook, startup, whatever your choice to reach out to you. But it's a big red flag, even if you're working for a FAANG company and you're not able to pass any interview. That's a big red flag. So stop wasting your money in, let me apply for job. Let me apply for job. Oh my God, I'm so antsy. No, stop. The resume accelerator, what it does is the resume and LinkedIn too. What it does is that you have to pause. It forces you. This is why I don't do it for you. No one should be doing it for you because I'm not getting the job for you. I'm teaching you how to land a job. Okay. You need to really remember everything that you've done. Okay. Do the best that you can, because when you do that and start creating your story, and there's also the tip of I'm telling you exactly what videos to watch and what to do. I'm giving you the link straight to the Amazon Leadership Principles so you can look at all of them. All of that stuff, guys, there are people who's charging, I can't remember how much it's really silly. There are people who's charging you just to tell you what the 14 Amazon Leadership Principle is. Please don't do that. It's free. There's a lot of free stuff. In my channel alone, there's so many free stuff. I have 130 videos, okay? Out of those 130 videos, the 100 videos were all Amazons. By the way, I'm moving to FAANG, okay? I'm moving on. It's the same thing, but I wanted to talk more about other companies outside of just Amazon. It's coming up. I just need to get that server migration out of my mind and get my life back together. So starting next week, you'll see things different week over week, okay? So I hope that answers your questions for all of you guys there's so many of you guys who have reached out to me, even though I don't respond to you because I don't have the bandwidth to. Please don't apply to job, work on your branding. If you, for example, tell me about yourself, and if you are struggling right now, you're not ready to apply for a job, cut it out. Cut. Okay? And I want you to look at your resume right now. If you haven't worked with me already, look at your resume, look at your LinkedIn profile, and I want you to rate yourself and evaluate yourself. I guarantee you 100% of you would say, I don't know what to do. I'm getting interview, but I'm not passing it. It's because of your branding. If what your brand, let me explain to you what I mean by branding. When you put words into your credential or CV, right? Those words and those bullets of achievements, your technical skills or domain expertise, whatever you want to call them, should represent your strength. So don't put things on there where when it comes time to interview, you can't answer them. Okay. And it is very clear in my coaching cohort, because in the cohort, there are 10 leaders right now in my VIP. Okay. And I asked them, how many of you guys actually looked at resume before you interviewed them? None. How many of you guys look at the resume when you are interviewing them? Maybe one or two. Glance at them. Don't even care. The resume is for you to land the job. Once you land the job, you need to be able to pass the interview. And that is when the star interview accelerator comes in later on. But the goal is, if you don't have a strong branding, you should be able to feel very confident of yourself. It should help you be confident of yourself. Why and how? Because you're going to sit back, drink tea or coffee with me, and the recruiters will reach out to you for a job invite. Yeah, that's what it should be doing for you. And that's how you know that you're ready to apply for a job. Actually, don't apply for a job. Network to get jobs. Costantino, I'm waiting for a virtual SA role, solution architect. Solution architect is on fire. I have to prepare a presentation. I heard about this presentation. Could you provide any hints for this part? Also, is this different from the narrative exercise? Yes, it's very different. The presentation, I don't want to, when you say you have to present a presentation, that and also a designer have to do a presentation depending on the role. Just like solving a problem, right? Before you start building and wasting your time, I would simply ask the recruiter, can you please let me know what is the expectation of the hiring manager so I can focus on relevancy on this presentation? They are not going to tell you to give me a presentation without any data, right? That's not how Amazon works. They're very specific. So in the presentation for SA, you want to talk about things that are SA I'm thinking networking and cloud infrastructure related in, I don't want to give you too much because it could be different from team to team. So, for a solution architect, what does a solution architect do? So, when you put something together, it has to be very clear visually, and also the way that you are explaining how you troubleshoot. I hate to say this, Costantino, are you ready? Use the STAR method. Okay. The STAR method is, what are you trying to tell them? And when you're walking them through, what problem, what is your concept, what problem are you trying to solve here? And then how are you going to do it, which means your design, right? How are you visually walking them through and verbally explaining that to them? And what is the result? Why did you build what you just built as a solution architect? I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the bottom. US based location. Okay. It should be the same, but if I were you, and because every hiring manager is different, as mentioned, I would want to know what is the expectation from that manager. Okay. Let's go with Twana says, could you review my LinkedIn profile for the last time? Because I will use it as an input for my resume. Sure, I'm more than happy to. Give me 1 second here, okay? Let me go ahead and pull that up here really quickly. Of course, I will review it. Actually, remember that server migration I was just telling you guys about? I've also removed all of my password that I don't remember, and I've also set up my password to something different. Hang on, let me see if I can remember it, okay? Please tell me. Oh my God, I remember my password. Voila. Twana, I'm literally pulling you up. I will share my screen. Let me pull you up first so I'm not wasting everybody's time. Hang on, okay? Twana, here you are, Twana. Alrighty. I have you right here. And I'll send 2 of Holly's examples. Yes. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Yes. And while you are here, let me give you a review as well because I'm obsessed that way. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. You see me? Yes, you see me right there. And let me try to make this a little bit bigger. There you go. Okay. The channel art, that's fine, but I would put something a little bit more that represent who you are. For example, solution architect. If you are a tech person, I will highly recommend that you put something that represent just who you are. Okay. I love your photo, by the way. Love your photo. The only time that you should not have your photo in your credential is your resume. Let me explain. Because in resume, you don't want biases and no one care about what you look like on resume. It just helps you get found. As mentioned, interviewers barely look at your resume anyway, so don't waste the time on any of that stuff to get fancy. Okay? AWS Certified Solution Architect. Do not call yourself expert on anything. Twana, go check out my video. It's called Expert. It's in the branding and networking playlist. If you look on my main page, you should be able to see it. It says basically, don't call yourself an expert. When you call yourself an expert, you better be an expert because every single person who considers themselves like an expert in SA, for example, and they end up not getting the job because they actually don't have the scale or the scope that Amazon's looking for. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, okay? Even in my channel, I don't say I'm an expert career coach. I'm an expert Amazon interview. No, because there's always going to be someone that's better than you. So don't do that. Kanban master, I don't know what that is, but I would remove it. Remember, I'm in recruiting. If I don't understand it, 90% of the interviewer probably don't understand it. The AWS certified solution architect, I will put it on there, but this is a lot of word. It's good, but it's a lot of word. Expertise. I I would remove, I would have another section over here, technical skills. I would call it technical skill and tell me every single thing. If you are a cloud architect, you have to mention cloud architect. It's okay. It's okay to repeat yourself. It's going to help the buzzword. Okay. It's going to help you get found. So technical expertise, put it on here. All of this, no one's going to read it, but it's going to help you hit the buzzword. Okay. By the way, I love this little dash right here. And this is exactly what I use for mine. Look at you. You clean up this part. Yes, I'm so proud of you. Senior information technology consultant. I will not put the word consultant on here because when a big FAANG company look at the word consultant, they think that you're a temp or you're a contractor. If you're working for a consulting company, that is fine. Let them ask you. I will remove the word consultant. Just put senior information technology. Okay. Give me a moment to scan through. Okay. Erickson is a really, really big name. Here's how I can help you, okay? Over here at the very top in your headline, my friend, I would put X, like EX. If you like, go look at my personal LinkedIn profile. I don't want to open it right now because I have a lot of, you can see my message coming in from a lot of you guys who like to message me of quick tip here and there. That's what I mean. Don't do that. Don't email me. Don't face LinkedIn message because I'm bombarded. There's a lot of them that comes in like literally by the minute. So just take a look at my LinkedIn profile. I'm the only Holly Lee as a coach and as a former ex Amazon, by the way. Okay, you cannot not find me on there. If we're not connected already, make sure you do because that is my information. Okay, just Holly Lee. All right, let's go back. I would put X like EX, Erickson. What is your title? Solution architect. Oh my God, that's such a strong word. Okay, X Erickson Solution Architect. Okay, and then I would use this thing right here. I don't know what it's called for the life of me. That right there, the little comma thing, put that on here. Okay, put it on there and just put AWS Certified Solution Architect. That's it. Stop right there. All of this, remove it. Be very, very firm and own up to it that you're solution architect and repeat it all over again. Okay. The PMP, PMI, all of that. It's great that solution architect have power over the PMP certification. Okay. They do because I've helped a lot of sales folks who are non-sale, have 0 ounce of sales position and they're program manager at AWS because they got their AWS certification. True story. That's my VIP cohort. Okay. All right. And here's the important piece that during the interview or when the hiring manager is interviewing you, they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile, not your resume, because it should be very clean, right? Here's an example. This is what I mean by business impact, my friend. Okay. Leading ICT Agile teams at Ericsson to motivate a mindset of being Agile, not just doing Agile. Get rid of it because there's no impact. I don't see the impact. Coaching new team members to reach need a professional level in RAN area agile management. Excellent. Resulting in what? What does that help them? What does that help them? Does that help them boost their performance by 50%? How did that help them? Okay. What is the impact? Remember, my friend, you have to always talk about the impact. I got AWS Solution Architect to, nope, remove this. You don't have to explain what you have got. Just talk about your LinkedIn, the difference between your LinkedIn and your resume. Your LinkedIn is what have you already done? What is truly your impact? Okay. Oh, look, a former leader at Kindle messaged me. Okay. Does that make sense? And Twana, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in my in our private branding group in my Facebook group. I'm happy to dive deeper with you. Okay. You have been a solution architect in so long, you have to highlight. It's key to you. Okay. Look at this. Creating all of this stuff, high performance and architecture. Excellent, excellent, excellent buzzword. Resulting in what? 100% optimization of the server. What is it? What does that help? How many customers? Millions of customers across the world. What is it? Give me some number to work with. Because if not, let me tell you this, my friend, everyone's credential looks exactly the same, why people don't even look at resume and LinkedIn profile anymore. So you have to make them want to look at what you've done and what is your impact, right? Another example is supervise and guides development team to do what? What was the end result? Okay, so make sure you have a lot of stuff there. And here's a great example. It's let me continue. Okay, great. Let me go back here. Boom, and we are back. Hang on one second. Let me know if that have helped a little bit, Twana, okay? Here's the things, guys. A lot of people don't, by the way, who's with me? If you're still with me, can a girl get some coffee in the chat screen? Give me some coffee or give me a star. Choose one, preferably coffee. Cheers. A lot of people don't understand. When you're telling a story, you basically describe your job description. Interviewers don't care about you describing your role and responsibility without an impact, okay? But from the moment you talk about impact, here's the power of what I call star method. It's not my star method. It's not Amazon star method. I don't know who invented the star method, which is very smart. Basically, what really matter is what are you solving? Who are you solving for? How are you solving it? And what is the return on investment? If you have no return on investment, no one is going to hire you because then you sound like a generalist. Now, some people hire generalists, like Google does look for generalists because Google doesn't have specific ownership of projects and scope of whatever they're scaling. But when you're working for a company like an Amazon, it's all about ownership. You are going to own that. I talked about Alexa Engine, the example that I was giving you guys a second ago of my career failure being a people manager. I have no shame. I'm okay to admit it. Well, my manager didn't tell me that. I just feel that way. Okay. So even though I own all of Alexa platform, and that is the biggest part of the entire engine. Engine is the platform that power up everything, voice and homes and everything, all the technology, right? You own it. And you own it across the world. So this is what I mean. When you're interviewing for a company like Amazon, you have to be very, very extremely specific, which is why I'm so raw, okay? And which is why I'm so excited. I'm so pumped because this is not Amazon. This is just who I am. And they're looking for very specific people who are very hungry, who can pick up and learn on their own. They don't expect you to have experience with helping, billions of people in the world. They expect you to know and have the smart to just kind of pick it up. Okay? Okay. Alrighty then. I'm glad we can agree. Let's go with moving along, moving along. Oh. Hungry for employment. Thank you for coming by. Have you started your new job yet? I see some story for review. I'm very happy for that. For Fusa, this is my first live with you. I just want to say thank you for the great content. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm working on making more emoji so that the longer you guys are with me, for example, if you're with me for 6 months plus or 1 year plus, the emoji will change because you can tell some of them says star story, the other one's eat sleep star. It's just for me to recognize my member and who they are right away. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Sahab says mechanical engineer in Montreal. Okay. I didn't know they were hiring for a field engineer in Montreal. That's awesome. For the mechanical field engineer, Amazon is also the only company. You guys know why I'm so passionate to talk about everything Amazon, because honestly, a lot of the people should be really duplicating what Amazon is doing. Amazon just doesn't put the job description for the sake of job description. Literally every single thing you see in the prefer qualification, what Amazon is really trying to tell you is you must have that. Not prefer, meaning you must have that. If you look at the skills, those are some of the technical questions, right? Like walk me through a time where you're able to build this as a field engineer. And it's the same type of questions. Tell me about time where you have a customer complaint. You have an unhappy customers. What was your story? What was the situation? And what was the solution? I would ask you that. And that's also very similar to tell me about time that you disagree with your customer. It's the same thing, right? This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't overthink. Listen to my tone. Listen, let's zen together. Listen to my sweet voice. The questions are all the same. You just need to answer the question from your background. Because when you do, you will have great stories. And every single thing I'm teaching you in my videos, if you're able to do well in your story, you kind of land offer with a lot of different companies. Again, Amazon is not the only company there. It is a company that is the fastest of lightning uh, corporation in the world, but it's not the only company that are working on great things. There's other stuff as well, especially being based in Montreal. Okay, try to figure out what other employer you wanted to work for, and you can also compare the job description for the exact same role, and you can kind of see you can feel the scope and the scale and the differences between an Amazon job description versus other company as well. And by doing so, it's going to help you um, fill in a lot of the terminology in your field as an ME, mechanical engineer, that you have forgotten. And that also helps you create storytelling using the right buzzword that these companies wanted to hear. Okay. If you're a field engineer with an ME background, there are terminology that you use. I don't even need to know what they are. It's written all in front of you. So don't waste your energy in looking for 100 questions. Don't. I'm trying to save you time right now. I have 17 questions in that template. It's called questions and answer. Answer them, my friend. Okay. And let me know how that goes. Thank you, Anna. Mara, yes. I love question, Mara. Let's give you some love here. Picking up on what you said before, I have final 5 interview loop for pre-construction manager. There's quite a few of you lately. Interviewed by 3 construction manager, 1 plant strategy manager, 1 ops manager. So they'll have specific topics and LPs, um, or each ask about a certain group of similar topics so I can align to their favor of LP. Listen, let me answer one question at a time. It doesn't matter what their position titles are, because your loop is a lot of people that's coming from the operational org, which is great, right? Which is excellent. Don't pay attention to and guess what LP. Just again, focus on the questions I have for you, because it doesn't matter what LP it is. If you focus on answering the question that I'm already giving it to you, because those are the exact questions that they will ask you. Okay. If you focus on just the LP, only the LP type of questions, don't look at my list. I'm saving you time here. Of 17 questions, if you create 2 examples, 17 times 2 is what? A lot of questions, right? If you have bare minimum 15 really strong story, strong meaning you're confident, you remember your career failure, your biggest impact, you remember a time that you were able to build as a construction person. For if you have experience building for any tech company, that's perfect. By the way, if you have that, how are you? Let's talk tech here for a second. Even though you're non-tech, how did you set up the networking hub or the data center? Who did you leverage? How do you even know what to talk about without that experience? That, my friend, is called diving deep. It's called ability to influence. It's also called learn and be curious, because you don't have the scope. You're not a tech person. So this is what I mean. Don't spend your time. You need to know the leadership principle by all means, but don't just align leadership. Don't waste your time. Focus on creating great story. And when you create great story, you are going to hit at least 50% of the leadership principle. Let me know if that makes sense, Ma. One of the interview I already know who know and had a great second interview with. I don't expect too many specific tech questions, since building regulation in Germany, where I live and apply for. Well, let me tell you this. The last 2 construction program manager who interviewed at Amazon, they do ask tech question. I'm not saying this to freak you out, but then again, they're US company. I don't know how Germany is. They don't expect you to know how, for example, the networking prototype. They're not going to ask you that, but they're going to ask for your technical exposure and environment. Okay. Exactly what I just said about 2 minutes ago. What do you know about, for example, if you are hiring for a construction and you're building a building for AWS or to house their cloud infrastructure, what do you know about AWS? That's it, right? So you better know the team and the org you're interviewing with very, very well. Amazon does not mess around. They wanted to know your knowledge of the role that you're getting yourself into. That's why when I made the video that says why Amazon, it was very, very specific. You need to be able to think about why you want to work for not just Amazon, the role that you're interviewing for, what makes you qualify, what is your added value. That's why Amazon, not, because Amazon is the biggest, baddest dog company. No, no, everyone says that and no one cares. It's all about why they should hire you. When you think about why Amazon or why Google or why any company, why they hire you, that's the answer that you should be giving them and make it very short to the point. Okay? For, let me know if that makes sense, Mara. Okay? Um, Quite different from the UK Luxembourg where my interviews seem to be like, yes. Also, the interviewer and their tone can be different from continent to continent, but the one thing that's really the same is the bar. Okay, the bar and the type of questions, it's the same. The bar racer that's based in, for example, UK or Luxembourg can be the bar racer for US company as well. I know that because when I did international expansion, I do leverage bar racer from that continent, right? Why fly someone all the way across the world when you have BR and hiring team already there? So they're being trained to know what is the bar in hiring people who are better than 50% of the people that are already at Amazon. Yes, you heard that right. They want to hire people who have the skill, the ambition, or the smart and can see them doing the job as their peer who's already at Amazon. Amazon is not the company who really has time to walk you through and let you really ramp up, even though they say there's the onboarding the first 30, 60, 90 days, which also I have a playlist for that. Go check it out. I dive deep into 3 different org to let you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Okay. But the bottom line is when you are non-tech, you need to have the tech environment and exposure. What is it for the team that you're interviewing for? Alrighty. Fawaz, let me look at the time. Okay. Fawaz says, how do I know if I am applying for the right level? Maybe I'm applying for a 5, but I'm a level 6 or vice versa. Are they general rules? Well, a level 5 is a mid-level person. Generally, they have 4 or 5 years experience as a level 5. Amazon's bar is very, very high because of the scope. So a level 5 is generally someone that has it's more like 6+ years experience. Level 6 is someone who's been doing the job of the role that they're applying for 6+ years. Usually the one who meet the bar are more like 10 years experience. Okay. The years of experience you have on your credential doesn't dictate the level that you're applying or interviewing for a role at Amazon. Because as mentioned earlier, the scope and the scale, it's huge. I gave you guys an example with Alexa platform earlier, right? And I basically own all of it really quick, really fast. But I also have 20 years of recruiting and leadership. At the time, I had got 15 years. 15 years. Yeah, 15 years when I joined Amazon. You see that? When I was hired as a level 6, 11, 13 years ago, I started as a level 6 on Amazon. I already had 10 years of experience prior to 10 years or more. 12, I don't know. It's been a long time. I have 10+ years experience. I made it to level 6. It's rare to see someone who's a level 7, which is senior leader or principal, by the way. The qualification is 8+ years. That's BS. That's not true. Let's be real here. Everybody knows that at Amazon. For you to get promoted, it takes about 10 years, at least 8 years. That's how long it takes. For those who get promoted quickly, I don't know what they're doing, but I have never seen that. Again, I was at Amazon for 6.5 years. I've never seen anyone get promoted that quickly because most people retire at a level 7 and they can never be director because it's really hard. The bar at a level 6 at Amazon is irrelevant to like a director at Facebook and Google if you look at the scope. Okay. It's not even level to level as far as the responsibility because the level of execution and scalability at Amazon bypass all its competition. There's Amazon people have no competition. Okay. It doesn't because of that reason. I hope that sheds some light to you, Wasat. Don't pay attention to the year of experience and the level. Amazon is very fair on level. Okay. If you're very smart, you're able to answer the questions with specific example, how you're able to generate great business impact, then you're probably a 6. It's not because you have 10 years, 15 years experience, is because you have experience in the area that you're applying for. Okay. Gridhar. If you have time today, can you review my LinkedIn profile? Gridhar, if you can share the link with me, that would be a lot quicker, right? Thank you, Anna. Yes, if you can put the URL, I can copy and paste a lot faster. Thank you. Twana, I will get back to you inside the Facebook group, okay? There should be a lot of examples for resume in there. Let me take a look at it. It should be in there because I was literally just in there. Okay? We'll get back to you on that. Mara says, and this is a construction person, I'm currently building my UK style resume. I know the European style is very different. Also, the UK style is also very, very long winded. I know because I've helped a lot of folks from EMEA. But if you are applying for a company who is housed and based in the US, like an Amazon, just say Amazon. Let's be real, Amazon. They like everything to read straight to the point, okay? Straight to the point. It's taking me nearly a week to research the structure, find strong matching keywords, and fit it to the role different, doable. Then you need my resume accelerator to walk you through every single step and how to build it if you want to save some time because it literally walk you through step by step. And there's examples on there as well. The best example that I can give you is my own personal example where I walk you through. That's a resume accelerator, by the way. It's my personal example. And if you look at my background, it's all tech. It's all tech. And I want you to see what tech companies are looking at. Okay. It's very clean, to the point. It hits a lot of the buzzword. I wanted to show you how my resume are able to get me into 90% of the FAANG company. And you just need to duplicate it. That's it. It's very, very simple. Follow it. Don't look for other template. Don't think about anything else. Just follow it. Guys, I'm trying to save you time here. Okay? Hungry. Listen to Holly here. Information is very helpful. Also, your LinkedIn profile helps. Good job, Holly. Well, you're welcome, Ed. Congratulations. I'm very, very happy for you. I will tell Ann Lu that you are starting a new gig. Writing exercise questions for any kind of construction manager asking innovative accomplishment. With the writing exercise, there's two questions you choose from. One is the most innovative thing you've done, and the second option is good business judgment, and you still need to use the STAR method. It's all about the STAR method, and in there you also have instructions, not instruction, but it tells you how long it should be. In my VIP cohort that is made for leaders or senior people that's 10 plus years experience to be qualified to be VIP, there's a section where I also walk you through and teach you how to create your writing exercise with examples and also for me to review it if you're interested. Okay, Mara, and that's this one right here. That is the VIP cohort. Okay. I can't say I'm half prepared before Amazon interview invitation. It took me a month watching your video and prep for the Amazon interview. If you already have been prepping for a long time, you need at the bare minimum to focus on your storytelling and practice bare minimum a month to get a job at Amazon. All in reality, it takes at least 3 months to land a job at Amazon if you're starting from scratch. Okay? A lot of the folks that I've helped, I have a couple hundred people, and only about 19 people who landed a position within 1 month because my VIP has a monthly membership option. Those are the folks who have been prepping for about 3 to 6 months on their own, and they don't understand why they have all failed their interview. When they came to me, I review their stories. I make them perfect. Well, I didn't write it for them, but I tell them by forcing them to think bigger, by providing more examples and data to frame around their stories, because by doing so, people, you're able to meet all of the leadership principles. Yeah, it worked. But that process alone takes about 2 weeks. It doesn't take that long. But remember, there's a lot of examples, right? Because I'm asking you for 2 examples per each question. You do need 2, okay? And then we spend our time while they're doing that to practice mock interview, where they show up every single week to my mock interview office hour. And that's how they're able to end up getting a position that quickly. It's very rare. I'm saying that it's really rare to get a position if you just started within a month. I've never seen it before. It takes at least 3 months. That's a fact. Nicole H, how are you, Nicole? John, thank you for the coffee. Love me some coffee. You welcome, Twana. Beer, yes. This is too early for me for beer. It is Friday, though. Talk about beer. I need a sip of coffee. Mara said, thanks for the answer. It made sense. I would just overthink. All of you guys are overthinking. A lot of you guys, when you reach out to me on LinkedIn, another reason why I kind of stop answering all of your messages, because literally every single one of your message to me on LinkedIn are the same. Let me explain. You could be a mid-level, a senior person, a principal, even VP at Microsoft, at Apple, at Amazon. You know, I'm helping a couple leaders right now at Amazon, at VMware. Guess what? The message they gave me and the message that you guys all gave me, even at mid-level people, they're all the same. Holly, I don't understand why I failed my Amazon interview. Holly, I don't know how to present my background. I've done so much. Holly, I'm so long-winded. I don't even know where I failed, and I'm just really upset right now. They're all the same. Sounds familiar? Holly, I'm just really stuck. I've been here for 18 years and there's no growth. And these are people that's already at FAANG companies, by the way. I don't know how to be unstuck. The same thing, right? It's your story. It's your number one is your brand awareness. It's not having a clear vision of what on earth you want. You think you're a technical program manager, but when you come to me, for example, if I were to say, what is your experience with system architecture and design? And if your answer is, Holly, I don't understand what that means you're not a technical program manager. Okay? It's kind of like talking to an engineer where I would ask you, tell me everything you know about the back-end technology. And your answer is, Holly, I don't understand what you mean. That means you're not a full stack engineer. You see where I'm going? Point taken, right? Nicole says, I'm sure I missed this, but there were 17 questions located. Are these the leadership principle? What I've done, if you take a look at my Amazon leadership principle, there's two part, right? The first part is I'm trying to highlight my 12 best principle that you must really, really know and talk about expectation. Guys, you have to understand. I look at my analytics on YouTube. People don't watch my video more than 4 minutes, and that's why you fail. You have to watch the entire 10-minute video. For crying out loud, it's not that long. When people skip content and all that, and then they're confused or they fail their interview because you didn't watch the whole thing. When you watch, it gives you questions. You write down those questions and try to answer them. There's questions for IC, individual contributor, and also people manager. I didn't forget about you, people manager. And then when you go to my Amazon leadership principle, it's not really Amazon. Just I should have worded as interview questions and answer, but no one watch. Isn't that crazy, guys? I made that playlist a year ago and no one watches. From the moment I put Amazon leadership principle, everyone, the mom wants a piece of it. It's so weird. It's the same thing, guys. If I change that and put Google questions, no one looked at it. If I put Tesla, no one care. If I put Amazon, everyone say hallelujah. People, I need you to think big here, okay? Everything that I'm trying to teach you can be relevant to every single company that you're interested in. And don't think that Amazon is the only employer, okay? The Amazon leadership principle, the insist on higher standard, the customer obsession, the bias for action. Guess what? At Facebook, they call it moving fast. They call it customer centric. Same thing, right? Does that sound familiar? So every single company really does have the same value. Yeah, even startup. I know because I work for a couple pre-IPO company. I know, same thing, right? Everyone has customer obsession. Everybody has most innovative thing. All the company, by the way, call themselves moving fast. All of them have a leadership principle or fairly closely that they are the most innovative company. So that's Amazon. You see that? Same thing. Can you all repeat after me and put it in the chat? Say same thing for me. Say same thing. Same. Like my son says, same. John, how likely is it that 3 Amazon interviewers will ask the same leadership principle question on the same day? It's very, very likely because a lot of the question, as I literally just mentioned, are very similar. Okay, even though their leadership principle are different, here's what's happening. This is not just Amazon. All the company have what is called interview bank, right? Which means they select the top 2 or 3 questions to ask you. A lot of those questions are very similar to one another. Okay, let's just say that in total, the company has over 100 interview questions in total. Let's just say leadership principle, right? You know, a lot of them are very similar. That's why you feel that the question is very, very similar, but they're different focus of the LPs. But if your answer is good, other interviewer would be able to give you pros and cons relevant to a lot of the other LPs outside of what they are assigned to as competencies to ask you, if that makes sense, John. Okay? If you only have 2 story and don't want to repeat, is it okay to mention this? If you only have 2 story and don't want to repeat, well, if you only have 2 story, then you need to watch the most innovative thing that I've done and also my weaknesses. I'm teaching you how to recycle them to not sound exactly the same. Okay? Try that first and leave me a comment in that video if you have any questions. You don't ever want to tell the interviewer that you only have 2 stories, if it's okay to repeat them. Never, never, ever, especially at Amazon. Remember, they're evaluating for your aptitude to learn and to figure it out on your own. So you never, ever want to tell them that, can I repeat it? And you never want to tell any employer that I don't have it or any of that. You could simply just be honest, and if you don't have an answer, just say, you know what, I don't have an answer. I've never done that before, but can I give you a different answer? Or what is relevant? And then you can go on moving to the next directions. Okay. Sahab says, can you talk about field engineer salary and level, please? I cannot right now because I would literally have to research. Number one, I need to know, first of all, I don't even know anything about your background. Secondly, I need to have a conversation with you, even if you have 10 years experience. Are those all field engineer at a bigger company's perspective? What have you done? What is your scope and your deliverables? I don't have that information. Also, geography. What is what is the market rate from where the position is, not where you are located at? Where will you be working for or supporting? That is a location. That's a market rate. Go take a look at my salary negotiation video, part 1. Okay, it's called salary negotiation playlist. Go take a look at it. It tells you exactly what to do to figure out what you're worth before you consider. And you should never talk about money anyway until you get the offer. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Let me. I don't know what's going on, guys. It's not letting me funky right now, guys. Is that? I know there's more. This can't be it. I'm like, this can't be it. There's got to be more. Okay, okay. It's ending. It just me. I'm like, oh, I just want to make sure it's that anxiety. Where did I miss anyone? Did I skip anybody? John, let me know if I answer that question, okay? And Cody, hey, Cody. Cody says, thank you for all the advice and coaching. I'm an internal AA as an IC, and I passed the L4 AM. AM is account manager interview, but it's an account manager, area manager. I want to say you're interviewing for area manager, but have not heard back from the recruiter or the interview team. If you have you interviewed and you haven't heard back from the interviewer or interview, I'm sorry, you're not going to hear back from the interviewer, from Amazon recruiter, you should follow up your recruiter within a few business days. Amazon still has the 2 and 5 promise. What that means is that from the moment you start the interview process with the recruiter, every 2 business days, the recruiter should communicate with you to tell you what the next step is. After the final loop or the onsite within 5 business days, they have to come back to you with an answer, either yay or nay. Okay. So if you haven't heard back from them and it has been 5 business days, I would highly ask you to reach out to the recruiter just to follow up. Okay. Do you know how the process different between internal and external hire? Well, internal hire, I think that the bar is actually higher because you're already an internal and they expect you, for one, know the leadership principle. And yes, they will be asking you behavioral questions similar to everything that we just say. Okay. But for you to be qualified as an internal candidate, the hiring manager for the position you're interviewing for already have done I call it backdoor with your current manager if you are within Amazon, so that your performance rating and skill is a thumbs up before you can transfer to a different team. And you still have to interview. You still have to interview with 4 people unless that have changed. For internal, my memory is a little vague because it's been so long for me. For internal candidates, God, was there a bar racer in there? I can't remember. I wanted to say there is a BR. It's been so long, guys. Forgive me. It's been quite a few years. And I don't do a whole lot of internal. Usually the HR person handle that. I'm not in HR, I'm in recruiting. It's different, right? HR handles folks who are already there. Okay. So for internal transfer and whatnot, you still have to interview with at least 4 people. And I'm going to say that the bar racer is also in there because it's important for them to have, when I say bar racer, it's important to have someone who isn't in the team to eliminate any kind of biases. All right. But 3 of the other folks are within your team that you're interested in, also including the hiring manager. Okay. Kenya said same. Melissa, hey Melissa, recently found your channel and I've been watching your videos all week. Thank you. I have my first phone interview on June 18th for a senior accountant position for the new headquarters in Virginia. That's a beautiful, beautiful office. For the phone interview, Melissa, it's really about knowing the foundation for the role. For you to make it to the next step, which is the on-site or the final loop, you have to be able to give examples of, for example, think about how you deliver results. How do you deliver? Think about one specific example on how you're able to deliver result to your customers and who are your customer as an accountant. Okay. You need to have at the bare minimum that. And at first phone interview, it's really about describing your role and responsibility. And when someone does that, they wanted to hear things that you have done. Do not describe the job description, but give very specific example, people. Repeat after me. Specific example will get you the job. Okay, let me know how that goes. Kenya says this is a session quite this live session quite a session. I'm joining as a program manager. I will share my experience soon. Awesome. Mara says, repeat in question. Is it recommendable to give an innovative example for written exercise from university background? Well, let me ask you this, okay? Mara, if you're interviewing for an industry position, which is level 5 or level 6, unless you're interviewing for an entry level position, I will not give an example that is non-work related. Okay? I will not do that. So you have to think of, if you have at least three plus years experience, which means industry hire, I will not give a university example. Okay? Because they wanted to hear how you're able to, what is the most innovative thing that you've done. It doesn't have to be operational or anything like that. Basically, why should they hire you? Unless you are going after like a new graduate program or a graduate position, yes, by all means, give university example, but industry, no. Okay? Hey, SJ Sin, how are you? June says, have fun. I had a great time with my interviewers. Don't overthink about it. Technical. It's about delivery. Remember that interview is a conversation. Excellent. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. Here's a final thought for you. I am going to trim this down, and the example that I was giving you guys earlier, I will use that as an example for, I will put this under Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answer. So every time when I share stories, I'm going to cut that part out so you're not wasting your time trying to find things. Generally, I also will put a timestamp on there. For example, questions around construction program manager, I will put the timestamp so you know when to look for that. And that generally takes me, usually it's by the end of the same day, but because I've been so slammed of migrating my own server, I'm actually a week behind of every single thing. Things will be coming back to normal starting next week. Guys, again, thank you so much for being here. All of you paid YouTube member, you're truly motivating me to come in here and live stream for you and coach you. I am extremely obsessed because for me, I focus on the result. I focus on getting you a job so you can continue doing the things that you love. Life is short, especially having personal experience as well, along with all of you guys. Even prior to the pandemic, I quit my job to start my own business, and I told myself that I would take a year off to learn how to be a mom with a young kid, and I can't handle them both. And if this doesn't work, then I'll just shut the door. um there's come a time, I gotta be honest with you. In 6 weeks of having a YouTube channel and talking to myself and live streaming to myself, for myself, to myself, and for myself, I actually had self-doubt where, I have so much knowledge and I need to find a way to capture the right audience. And because you guys are coming in and willing to show me that you want to be a member of my community, is letting me know that I should not ever shut down my YouTube channel and my work because it's affecting people. In 2020, there's over 500,000 people who landed a job at Amazon. Yes, specifically at Amazon, because I read all of your messages right in here on my live chat. A lot of you guys come into my live chat to tell me, announce a job offer. And for the longest time in 2020, I actually make a little stick figure to see how many. And I do count them because I do rewatch the entire stream. And I also did the math. And yes, I do, because I'm very obsessed. I read every single comment in all of my video. And I do that at the end of the day, every single day, people, every single day. And that's how I know. So it does work. Everything that I put on here, and that's allowing me, and I want the type of question that you're asking me, I do made a note of that. So when I make one-off video, it's answering your question. Okay. The one thing I don't do is I have no bandwidth. I don't know if there's any creator that has, I'm pretty sure someone has, to make a video specifically on, for example, product manager, TPM, area manager. No, because you can hear it, right? It's all over the place. My heart is in tech, meaning tech company only. If you are I don't care, secretary, admin to a VP of technology, as long as your heart is wanting to land in one of those FAANG company, then this is the channel. I'm also working really hard to create a second channel for leadership. So I'm working a lot of the stuff on the leadership side as well. Now that you have a job at these FAANG company, what are you going to do? How are you going to continue to grow with the right communication skills and able to influence other to get what you want? Okay. Etho, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my friend. You didn't have to. I really appreciate that. And before I go, I wanted to make sure if you guys have any other question for me. If you do, don't be shy. Let me know, because if you don't drop your questions right now, I'm going to leave you and I will count. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Again, it is right here. It's every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys are all my members. You have access for both of them. And I will continue. If you haven't checked the community tab inside my main channel, there's also a template teaching you all how to create your why Amazon, tell me about yourself, and also questions to ask the interviewer. Don't forget all the good stuff that's already there made for you. Okay? Take care and be well. Have a great weekend.